fatalities to the end of my 30 years, it's prevention and getting that, you know, before in our country you drop litter and it was nothing. Now that would be challenged. Your dog would have a poo on the pavement, and that would be challenged now. It never was before. And it's getting that whole thing of, if you're a passenger in a car and you're finding yourself at risk and you're finding yourself scared, it's empowering those young people to challenge that. And the forum I'm using with that is Twitter, is my sort of speciality on that side of things, not with skill or whatever, it's just what I concentrate on, is proving very useful indeed. I was a senior investigating officer of fatal road traffic collisions for about 15 years, pursuit tactics advisor. If there's no plan, there's no pursuit in our country. We're very much, everything goes right, it's tier medals. If you pursue a vehicle, you catch the criminals and you get lots of, all the swag in the boot and all that, and that's great. But if that person who's driving, who you're pursuing, loses it, goes into a bus stop with a mother and 3 children, then it's a whole different story. And that police officer at the moment, we feel, could very easily end up in jail. Operations Firearms Command, it's basically team leader group. So my firearms unit, I've got a small group of, say, 6 officers, and there's a few of these patched all over our force area who attend the firearms. And so we're sort of trained in building entries, vehicle interceptions, that side of things, all the standard stuff. And Firearms Tactics Advisor, swallowed a manual on that, so tell the bosses what options they've got. And VIP Protection Officer, it is a complete privilege to do that. It's dipping in and out of a different world all the time, and unfortunately you won't see any of that on my social media. Okay. How did this start? This is the question. How it started for me. I had no intention of starting on Twitter or social media at all. None at all. It happened by accident. And I'm going to talk about how Twitter can go wrong and how to deal with that. It went very wrong for me for a period of time which I wasn't aware of for a certain amount of time. Luckily, I picked up on it about 6 hours later and saw the absolute tirade of issues that had gone on. But you'll see how it sort of reacted. I could have run for the hills. I don't want to risk my pension on this. And that's what I think a common theme is what Chief said, what he said. It's happening all over the place. We don't need this. We need that support. We need a strategy that the police forces have to say, okay, let's not throw the book at you. Let's see how we can avoid this in future. And that's what's happened to me. That's the crucial thing. Okay, if it's negligent or malicious, or you're just being downright rude or whatever, then that's a different matter, isn't it? You wouldn't do that in the street, so don't do it on social media. But there are the professionally offended out there, and they are looking, and they're desperately to be offended on something that you've just said, and they're only too keen to bring that up. Mixing humour and character to educate, so important. Show your character, and for all ranks to recognise the value to progress its use in modern society is crucial. It's not just social media fad that the teenage kids do. It's a real brilliant way of engaging with the public. Okay. Okay, so how did it start for me? This is how it started. I'll see, there's no guarantees that the video will be working, but we'll go for it and we'll see what happens here. It's, I'm just going to have to reduce this because it wasn't quite as, okay. Here we go. No. No, okay. That one has gone. Ah, here we go. Right. Thank you. Right, this first part, I did this thing called Learn to Live, and again, it's a thing, it's an overused word, but I'm pretty passionate about it. It's that changing that mindset of young people in cars. Too many people are dying unnecessarily. It's just a road accident, so what? We can stop them, they are preventable. I think one of the good ways of preventing them is put a 6-inch nail in the middle of every steering wheel. People would drive beautifully. Get rid of the airbags. They would be courteous. They wouldn't be pushing for that gap. So maybe that's an option. Okay. Learn to Live is where you stand on a stage like this about 4 times a year. It's getting a bit bigger now, and they show a video. And the video is some students get into a car and they get distracted and they crash. And then you hear some fire sirens come along, and then I walk on, or whoever is in the local area. It's a national project, so you get local police officers One of them walks on and talks about a completely different story. And then they get a firefighter, and then they get a consultant, and then they get a next of kin, a mother who's lost a child. And when that child who's 21, she's holding the teddy bear, and she's saying, I just crawled into the bed and I could still smell him having gone to the mortuary on the pillow. That's the bit that gets you after a little bit of a warm-up. It really, and you've got 2,000 students in tears. Well, they said, well, what if you couldn't, this is exactly how my Twitter started. So what if you're not here, Harry, and we can't get anyone else? Can you do us a video? So I was on duty, I came in, did a video, I went, oh my God, that's a bit weird, there's literally one camera there. And so I told my story. And it starts when I'm in the station and I get a call and I go to the job and I get to the room. And this is how it goes through. Get rid of that. Excuse me, it's just gone off. There we go.
What he done, what he calls. Maybe that achieves the motivation that he had to live.
Right.
And maybe the hope that I was trying to give him just wasn't enough. He found it hopeless. If he had just looked to the left as the dust was settled just after the collision, he would have seen the body of a young girl. And she had an obvious head injury. And that was Anne. And Anne was 21. She was looking up into the sky. But there was no pained expression on her face, there was no struggling for air like Adam, just this peaceful serenity across her face. But her eyes had no focus. I knew that the car had slammed into the back of the highways lorry and it spun off. I know that Anne was killed immediately, she was gone before I even got there. Her body, still dressed in the clothes that she wore the night before. I remember her bare feet in the footwell with flip-flops next to them. It's strange because when you talk about these instances with colleagues or at home, you get a mental picture of the scene. It's not a video you run through your mind, it's a snapshot of it. And I couldn't work out why with Anna's it was her bare feet and the flip-flops in the footwell. And I soon realised, I guess, that it's because that sort of thing signifies holidays, sunny beaches, happy times. And here it was, a scene of complete death, destruction, devastation. That's why it sticks in my mind.
Okay, I see the video is just frozen on the screen there, but basically, you can imagine what it is. Then what happens is the mother comes into the room. The mother's going to tell her story, and she's there. Again, I have no intention of dealing with Twitter, but this just shows how powerful it is. The mother comes in, and I say something like this.
So what happened? Well, Anna had gone to a party in Africa with her boyfriend, but she wanted to come home early, so she arranged with a mutual friend, and that was Adam, to come back. But Adam had been drinking. The car was in good condition, clean licence, and was insured, no problem. But Adam was quite driving with me, and Anna didn't realise that. She got into the car and it cost her her life. You see, it doesn't end there, does it? Because Adam wasn't a bad lad. Adam lived with his dad, who was a trained electrician, and his dad now lives alone. Anna, well, her boyfriend came home expecting to see Anna there, and instead there was a police officer. Welcome. And then you've got Anna's mum. And you've got Anna's mum, who lost a beautiful, talented, very happy daughter that day. And I promise you she'll never get over that.
Basically what happened there, as I say, it's got the video is frozen a little bit there, is I look at her, I made the mistake, so I don't look at her, and so the ripples that go out, and you've got, and I have a little wobbly lip moment, and you can see me, I'm like really a little bit. Now the other videos that they went out onto YouTube, and they got sort of 500, 2,000 hits. It's only went to 75,000 hits. I thought, well, why did that happen? And I realised, lost my cursor here, so I might need some techie help in a minute. I realised it was because of that humanity. It's what Chief Solomon was saying, it's that you are showing me you're human. People went, oh my God, this police officer, he's not a racist, homophobic, bigoted person that I've been told by the media, by some members of the media or some politicians even. So, isn't that amazing? Yeah, I might need some tech here, because it's just literally frozen here on my screen. So I'm trying to get back to the PowerPoint. I don't know if there is something I can do. Here we go. Here we go, might be all right. Exit full screen, there we go. Thank you for that. Trying to get back into. That's it. Thank you. Okay. Right, okay. So then basically, that my boss's friend, that's actually getting quite busy on your social media screen now. Can we get the link off here? The screens. It is quite important. Most of these are photograph based. I don't know if we can get that off those screens. That off? Yeah, because it's not showing what's on here. Yeah. Yeah. I want to get this on. We're all right. We're okay now. Okay. Thank you very much for that. Sorry, just a couple of techie details, but yeah. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you very much. So they said we really need to get something figured out here, and do you want to stay on a private Twitter account? So I was following Formula One drivers, and it was sort of it was only literally the 200 people that were following me. I wasn't interested in people following me, so I said, okay, we'll change it to a forced one, and I could push this a little bit with the road safety side of aspect, and so that's what it did. But before we go on, and you'll see exactly how it's occurred, is what does Twitter do, and this is what I've found over the last couple of years. It engages with the public, engages with them. They suddenly get a feeling of what we're like. It educates the public. Some stuff, you know. We're doing it for a little while. We do know some stuff. And a lot of the time, the public and certain aspects of professional brief, they think they do know better than us. And I think, well, hang on a minute. No, just listen to us, because we actually do know what we're talking about sometimes. We're accountable. We can get it wrong sometimes, but actually we do know what we're talking about. We've been to a few road traffic collisions. We've got an idea of what might cause them. Informing senior officers and command team is a brilliant way from the grassroots to let the senior command team know what's actually going on down there. You know, what's happening on a night shift when those officers, you've got little heroes going on, heroic things going on, you've got traumatic situations going on, and suddenly those bosses know, if they're following Twitter and the social media, they can see it. When they get up, they have a look through, and they can see what happened in their smallest little part of the force, or any incidents that have gone on. And that's incredibly rewarding for those local officers to then get a tweet from them, or a support from a boss, from the force, saying, my goodness, they understand, get it. And it is a discussion platform for police officers with all forces and the public. What an amazing contacts you get from all the forces around, and talking about similar subjects and so on and so forth. And well-being. You've got a lot more officers now, certainly in our country, with cutbacks and things like that, with austerity, where officers are really coming to work, they're self-briefing in relatively small stations, they're going out on their own, and then they're coming back on their own, having dealt with traumatic incidents. It's a little community as well. And it's generally, let it be entertaining, let it be a bit of fun. It is fun. So let it be that. And for senior ranks, it's informing and updating the public. It's really important to do their primary role, that side of things. Recognising their officers' achievements, as I've just said, really, and engaging with those officers. Because it would be, what's your superintendent? Oh, he's all right, he doesn't give me any trouble. Or what's your superintendent like? Oh, he's cracking, because he knew what I was doing 2 days ago, and he sent me a little message saying, I hope everything's all right, keep in touch, sort of thing. So it's that communication, that engagement is the obvious benefit from it. And advertising and pushing campaigns, things like seatbelt campaigns and so on and so forth. So I was doing Twitter a little bit, and I thought, well, as long as I put something on a t-shirt and I can walk through a conference with a command team there, and I'll be all right. That'll be okay. Little did I know. I put this one out. This was a 20-mile traffic jam, and it was a woman was threatening to jump off a bridge. She was safely clear. She was safely off, no problem. And there was going to be an awful lot of tailback for that time. 3 lanes of traffic, that's quite a lot for us, we only get 3 lanes. I was 1 on 7 lanes I was on the other day, literally 2 days ago. I might have committed a few offences on it. And it just says, right, sorry guys and girls, someone threatening to jump off a bridge, but now off and traffic moving. Take time to clear. And I thought that was fine. That was going to be fine. I thought maybe a little bit informal. Am I belittling the seriousness of a jumper on a bridge? No, she's safe, that's fine. Okay, I'll go for that. And this is what happened. Sorry guys and girls, someone threatening to jump off bridge. Traffic cops, bizarre selfie next to M5 after suicidal woman caused 19-mile tailbacks. Police officer criticised for taking a selfie during M5 tailback. Police officer sparks anger with selfie after motorway suicide attempt. And I thought, no, there's some more. Police officer takes selfie. Police officer apologises. Motorway tailback. I'm under my bed at this moment, thinking my world has ended. I nearly made it to my promotion. Never mind. And then, what is very rare, we've got a pretty forward-thinking professional standards unit. Complaints department. This is what he came up with, almost straight away. Harry, the PSD's view is that this was an excellent use of social media for public info. Keep up the good work. Bang. Whoa. I didn't expect that. I thought it was a meeting without coffee and cakes. And then, this sort of thing came on. Other forces. Chris Heflin-Scott, good social media officer, brilliant support. So fab to see for support. Selfie showed humanity, which is vital to policing and totally appropriate. Thank you. My chief superintendent, great support. Don't let them get you down, Harry. You do a fantastic job. And then we get this. Great to see the support. Public get fed up with delays due to police incident and deserve to know the real reason. They're fed up with that police spokesman type thing that just dribbles out the stuff that we are investigating the incident and this is whatever, Sorry, my wife said, but don't do an American accent, sorry. And then we get this. So we've got a little bit of complaint as well. I get a complaint. So I've just put it says, and you were so concerned with the situation, you thought that a selfie would help. Okay. Don't get into Twitter if you have a glass of wine and you think, right. Probably not for you. Probably not. So I put, my official Twitter page updates police issues daily. Sorry you felt it was inappropriate. A bit humbling, self-deprecating, but not saying I was wrong. I'm saying sorry if you were offended. And then look how quickly it turns around. The Daily Mail, which I don't know if it's the same here, Daily Mail is known as lovingly as the Daily Fail in our country by many. Daily Fail victim, main thing, you were communicating a situation and I'm sure doing a good job. Take care, cheers Ross. Bang on side, straight away. Thanks Ross, keep it simple and straight. Don't get involved at this stage, there's a lot going on. I apologise, I've now got an apology from this really lovely person now who's realised, actually I was going to give it up, now I've misunderstood. And I've found that so often. If you speak sort of politely, simply to someone, they go, oh my God, I was expecting, what do you know, and this, that, and the other, or just be blocked, or something like that. I apologise, I have massive respect for you, I work alongside you, I just was slightly puzzled by the selfie method, call me. Okay. No worries, Ross, I will review similar in future. Alright? Top man! I'm getting crazy now, I've gone from a complaint to... I love this person because I think, wow, brilliant. And I have some concern. They're not just like a cop hater. and it was genuine criticism they felt, but they thought, okay, got it wrong. And I was not, I will not read the Daily Mail, and I deal with the source of possible all the best. And then this other person says, making drivers aware of traffic situation before they start heading that way is nothing to be ashamed of. And then you get our local celebrities here in our country. He hasn't broken America yet, I don't think. But Nick Knowles, lovely man, he's one of these that does these, converts houses that are really run down, and if there's somebody who really needs it, hasn't necessarily got the money to convert it for someone who's got wheelchairs and things in a poor state, he will then get the team in, get local communities, volunteers to come and talk the situation for them. And he's very pro-police. Seriously, Daily Mail, is it any wonder our police feel under siege after officer finds time to take selfie headline? It took 2 we're getting people on side now. And then he came up with this one later. Police engagement on social media is more personal, humanising and bridges divide caused by ridiculous police bashing. Daily Mail headlines. So now they've got all his supporters, and his millions of supporters, thinking, oh, okay, you know, if he thinks that, then maybe we can trust these racist, homophobic, bigoted police officers that we all think they are, you know? It's just spreading the word. Okay, I get a little bit cheery, and I'm not encouraging everyone to do this, but I do tread the line a little bit, if it's fine. 24 hours, but this is a little bit of humbling stuff going on. 24 hours after the Mail Online report, I do tie them into it. I like to see them in the eyes. Not too close. I have to say how incredibly humbled I am by all your incredibly support. Thank you, thank you. And then we've got London. Barnett is in London, so he's in the Met. Keep up the good work, Skip. You have full support from the whole of London for what you do on social media. It's very kind of him to run around and get everyone's support, which was really nice. But listen, by this time I'm thinking, just isn't the world lovely? You know, this is good. And then, I'm just clicking on here a minute.
Is this a video?
There we go. No, not yet. So it's very important to mix humour and character to educate. If you're not a naturally humorous person or whatever, that's fine, but everyone's got their own character. Be yourself. Don't put this corporate image. For God's sake, don't be a corporate person, because people won't read that. It's a bit like the websites. Again, referring so much from the previous speaker, is the website. Nobody really reads websites, because Twitter you get instant, straight away, 140 characters, no messing, straight to the point. And that's what people like. And if you mix a bit of humour, I find, if you're a bit humbling, I've got this thing with, if I do a selfie photograph, it's got to be, I might allow 2, okay? If you start getting an ego going, you've gone the wrong way about it. And then when they see you, they don't go, oh, in the flesh, because they think, actually, you do look like your picture. And then, there we go. And then after this one, I thought, okay, we'll put this. This is a little bit cheeky, because the Mail Online are known, but they're not entirely supportive of police. It was actually 1,000 by the end of the day, but thank you, Mail Online, for my extra 200 extra followers. I intend to spread more good news police stories. I owe you. Right. Somebody said, Harry, I think you've got game, set, and match. I went, I reckon it's 15, love. I'm telling myself here, Harry, walk away. Okay. And on a lighter note, this is the next day when I am breathing, think the world is lovely and all that. On a lighter note, no controversy was caused today by myself. No selfie available, new day. And from then, I do have a bit of a reputation by selfies on a bridge. All right, and any campaigns, Harry, can you do a selfie on a bridge somewhere? It's, right, so here's another. So I'm doing everyday work, and I go on the A30, and there's some sheep right on the A30. And units have gone there, and the sheep are running into the undergrowth, and it's a busy road. If those sheep get onto the road, we could have a fatality, easily, all right? And not just the sheep. Serious issue, I think, right, come on guys, let's get this sorted, all right? This would take all my skills and ingenuity, and I launched myself and I got 2 of these sheep. Now, I had no idea what to do with them at that stage. I gave one to someone else, and then I thought, here's a selfie opportunity. Now, there's quite a lot of the media, local, they follow me, and I know things go online pretty quickly now. And I know things that will attract the media. But that's good, that's cool. So I put this on. Right, great teamwork with traffic to recover 2 sheepish miscreants on the main A30. I thought I'll give that 3 hours before that is on the online Herald. I think 3 minutes later, there was a comment. There's one comment. That comment was, "That's only an expression your wife should see." So then you, again, because of who I am, I didn't engage in that banter. I appreciated it. I thought it was really funny, and it's not a problem if you receive you know, sort of twist or even offensive stuff back. But I know you just don't like it. You don't get into it because you are representing the uniform, and you are not there to talk about expressions like that. And that's a safe way to do it. And but it's important that the force that are with you don't look at that going, "Oh, that's terrible, that's how inappropriate." Believe me, there's other forces apart from mine, because mine are incredibly online with this, that would have the officer in for that. It's so old-fashioned, and we need to get a grip with it and spread the word. And I think once they've got confidence in numbers and realise other forces are doing it, then great. And then I had this one. Now this is an interesting one because I didn't want this was right. I thought, is this one here? Is this one, could it be construed as, I was taking obviously mick of his clothes, could it be construed as racist? Could I be, am I taking the mick at this individual? So I was very careful with this. You've got to be, every tweet I do, I've got to make sure that it's getting the right message across and can't be misunderstood, how easily it could do. So I've put, the new Devon and Cornwall police uniform is considered practical. However, the tailoring seems to lack some aspects of style for my local force. And I thought, well, that's about as risky as get, because the professionally offended might say, "Oh, well, that's disgraceful." But I'm taking the mick out of his clothes, the clothes that this poor chap has been given to wear, and I'm putting it on myself, saying, "Look, this is what we've got." Right, this one here. I'm going to see if this video is here. This is where it could all go wrong again. Right, I put this tweet. "I've taught my dog Arthur to search for drugs at his nanny's. He's very quick, but lacks some precision." Right? Now, this is a real reason for this one, which you might think is a bit strange. Right, are we ready for the video? This got, now normally with a tweet, you think, good tweet, maybe sort of 244 likes, 50 retweets, would be really good. This got 8,000 likes, 4,000 retweets, and it got me a whole load of followers. For me then to go to the next step and provide some educational engagement. Okay, so here we go. There's no sound again, but you don't need it, don't worry about it. Oh, is it there?
No, you gotta click on it.
See it?
Minimize the PowerPoint.
Oh, I see, okay. Okay.
Is it working?
I'll just see very quickly. And it should come there. Is that up now?
No.
Okay. Okay, it's not important, we can move on.
Are you sure?
Yeah, we can't do it, that's fine. Basically, it's my border terrier, Jack Russell, and he's just going mad. He's going left to right, to left to right. He comes in the middle, he turns around, he goes off, he comes back, he goes around. And I'm thinking, well, that's quite a funny video. How can I relate it to policing? Well, so well, I've taught him to look for drugs. So he's got the speed, but he lacks some accuracy. 8,000 likes that got. I had no idea why. But then once you've got that, just go back to the PowerPoint, because Arthur, my dog, will be very upset that that didn't come out, I tell you. Once you've got that, then tech equipment's doing really well at the moment. Okay, now you have them. You need to educate and inform. And how do you do that? Because that got me literally, I guess, another, at least sort of 800,000 followers like that. I know, okay, is it an ego thing? is not if you're not passing the right message. Come on. Trying to turn over. Okay. So I stick, now my dog is a little celebrity, I thought I can use that. So I use him for my seatbelt campaign. And so my seatbelt selfie, well not quite, my famous dog, supporting TISPOL, which is our local, our national rather, campaign for road safety. And phone ignored and belt up, live another day. So then that was a very early days, that little snap. What I'm saying is you can use everything around you. And when I was actually then going into the doing the talk for Learn to Live, which was on this one, I then put passionate about trying to reduce unnecessary road death. North Devon today, Learn to Live. Now, if I'd just done that, my bosses again wouldn't necessarily know what was going on. And there's the Chief Constable. Many thanks, Harry, and all colleagues safeguarding new and future young drivers. So the Chief Constable is aware. He would not have known that if I hadn't tweeted that. This is how engaging it is for the whole force, the whole community, and even the whole country. And well, there's a hell of a lot of engagement we have with Canada and the USA as well, in particular. And then of course the papers then pick up on that because of Twitter. Local papers here, and this is what they put in their paper. And this was the story that one of the stories that I give. And I'd just seen a child the same age as my son die in front of me. I'd seen his family fall apart at the seams, but I knew I had to pull myself together and find out what the hell had happened here. There's plenty of people in this room, I think, who probably have been in a similar position, such as that. But then it's really important then, this is another idea, again, getting my bosses who are engaging, because they think, yeah, and this is sort of an idea where you think, right, all I'm doing is, this is the A30, 2 lanes, quite a busy road. I know, not in these circumstances, but quite a busy road for us, okay. And it's usually bumper to bonnet. And this was a careful one. I thought, right, I'm saying bullocks, hashtag bullocks, right? Risky, a little bit. Were contained in this trailer on the A38 at Chudley and caused a delay of 2 hours. All clear now, and they were unheard. Now, I'm not encouraging people to maybe go to the line that much. I do a little bit, thinking, well, you know, that's right, we'll see how it goes. And then my Assistant Chief Constable actually liked it. So I thought, it just shows, sometimes, you think, am I being overcautious? But it's a constant check to see what's the right tweet to do. Where is it going too far? Where too little? And you'll see really why I'm feeling comfortable doing this is because we have got a force strategy, right? And it's so important to get together with your corporate comms team, get together with them and agree, these are the sort of rules, okay? If anything has to go through them before it goes out, then forget it, it's corporate poach. They've got to allow those officers to be themselves, and this is what my force is doing, and where the Twitter accounts work, that's where it works. And then very simple use editing processes can allow you to put something like that. And just spread the message. It's that time again, don't risk that floodwater. You'll probably find it's deeper than you think. Right? But it gets that attention because people are looking down and seeing these things that, but what's really important, I never criticise my force. I'm not going to bite the hand that feeds me. I won't lie, but I won't criticise them either. If I was employing someone, I wouldn't want them tweeting something, complaining about something happening in my department. So let's be serious about this. And this is where some officers fall down and they criticise. And it's important to spread that security message. Our gang is bigger than yours. The end. Okay. That was actually at the site of 2 arrested for burglary at builders' merchants. And then, of course, spreading these messages, and this is showing to the bosses again, what's happening with your armed response officers. Are they driving around waiting for an armed response job, or are they actually dealing with jobs, getting their feet dirty as well, at 3 o'clock in the morning? Just found a high-risk missing person in freezing fog in fields lying shivering using handheld thermal imaging, log 407. Always put the log for the press, because I know so the press office doesn't get absolutely hammered saying, what's this job, and they don't know anything about it. And then it's just simple things that we do, again, showing we're out there dealing with it. And when we've been to 3 or 4 of these a day, you can see, well, if they are 20% cutbacks, I'm thinking, maybe they'll just leave us alone a little bit because they can see how busy we are. RTC on the A380, this was. And it was just a way with photographs I use. I tend to use different angle to show a story. I get the ambulance in there. This was a minor injury. I mean, hardly even that even. But it shows the devastation. It shows people on their local roads what actually is happening. Blimey, that could have been me. That could have been my son driving down there. And just show a different angle, low angle, and you can see that the wheel is there with the person, a little bit of an action shot, rather than just a standard photograph. Now this one here, I'm not sure if this was, I've just